everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Amina and I absolutely love it if you could subscribe to my channel to stay notified and also to see more from me. So the other day I asked you guys on Instagram to send me some questions for a Q&A, in particular for an education Q&A and also for a marriage Q&A, which should be posted up before this one. So I'm here to do the education Q&A and answer some of your questions to do with education, and I have all the questions here. I got loads and loads of them. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, then please do, because that's where you'll see more from me in terms of kind of interaction and things like that. So let's get started. Alright, so Q number 1 is, how would you describe your childhood, your family, education, best and worst memory? So my childhood was amazing. I was brought up by my parents who did so much to get us to be well-rounded in terms of our religion, in terms of our education, and also in terms of just life in general. I feel like we did so much. We have no family in the UK, which is the one thing that I wish we did, but we have no other family in the UK. We just have a few like really close family friends who kind of are family in the end, basically. But yeah, like my childhood was really tight, very close-knit. So me and my siblings are super close as a result of, I guess, not having anyone else around. We just kind of have to be each other's best friends, and we love each other so much because of it. Your family. And it's funny because like when other cousins come to the UK and they stay in our house, they find us so weird. We come home, we kiss each other, we hug each other, and they don't do that apparently. So education, I would say, was pretty straightforward, and again, like I said, having parents that were very determined for us to do well and helped us with every single part, from English to homework to maths. Even when they didn't know it themselves, they would learn it. So I had basically a full-time tutor in my mum and my dad at home all the time, which was amazing. And my best memory, I would say, is just being young, and my siblings are all kind of at the same age, so just growing up with them and doing everything with them is my best memory. And then my worst memory, this is going to sound really bad, but I don't really have any bad memories of my childhood. Like, thank God I don't have any bad memories. How do you cope with work at university? Please suggest a schedule. I am thinking of doing a video about how to schedule your revision timetable, but I'm thinking of doing it kind of closer to revision time, so maybe around like March, yeah, March. Kind of times when you might want to think about a schedule. But I would say try to wake up early. For me, waking up early means everything. It's the make or break of my day. If I wake up early, like today, today's Christmas Day, so there's nothing to do today, but we still got up at like 8 AM, 7:30, 8 AM. So waking up early means that you can get so much done during the day, and it means that you've got time to play, and it also means you've got time to like get work done. So that's my one tip, I would say, but I definitely want to do a video on maintaining a schedule and how to do that, so look out for that. Can you please do a video on how to write articles and research without plagiarism? Yes, that's definitely one that's on my list of things to do. It's all about not copying sentences straight. It's about writing them in your own words, and making sure that you haven't copied and pasted sentences. That's like the key thing to avoid plagiarism, and also making sure that you reference. So if you have used a sentence, maybe make sure that at the end of the sentence you've made it very clear where you've acquired that information from, and that will mean that you won't get plagiarism. What are your best study tips on how to gain a lot of information, so quality over quantity? I would say when you're doing your searching and when you're looking online for the information, try to really refine your keywords. Try to make sure that your keywords are as kind of concise as possible. So try to make sure that when you type in, if you're searching for, let's say, something to do with cancer research, don't just type cancer research, because that will give you millions of hits. There are so many things out there. But if you're looking at a particular cycle or a particular stage of cancer or a particular, let's say, protein, try to go as deep as possible in terms of what keywords it is that you are requesting, because that will make a huge difference in the information that you're going to acquire and the quality of information. Do you recommend memorizing topics for exams? Yes, I definitely do. I think it depends on the topic. Some topics lend their hand quite easily to memorizing, such as like the amino acids, the structures, the shorthand letters for them. That's quite easy to memorize, whereas some information is not that easy to memorize. So it really depends on what information it is, but I would say definitely if you are the kind of person that has a photographic memory or a memory where you can pick up things really quickly, then I would highly recommend memorizing things. It makes things really easy in the exam. Yeah. That's my answer. When you were preparing for exams, did you memorize or really try to understand the topic? Okay, so back to memorizing again. Yes, I did try to understand the topic, and I think in the long run that really helped me. But it does depend on when you start revising. My flatmate started revising in like March, so she only had the opportunity to memorize, whereas I started revising from the first lecture, which was in September, October. So I had the opportunity to learn the information, understand it, and then when it came close to the exam, I just memorized certain topics, whereas I had the information kind of embedded in my memory already from early in the year. So I would say it depends on when you start to study, and if you can study as early as possible, do. Because understanding it is a much better technique, and it's more efficient than just memorizing information. What motivated you to strive in academia? I actually don't know. I really don't know the answer to this question. I simply went from doing an undergrad to doing a master's. It was kind of like a natural progression, and then I did a PhD. There isn't much you can do with a master's in the sense that, like, in academia, you can't, apart from being a research scientist, you can't really go on to do much. So it was kind of natural for me to go on to do a PhD. Yeah, so there wasn't really like a direct motivation where I was like, yeah, I want to do a PhD, but my dad started a PhD, so I also kind of feel like I kind of had the idea of a PhD in my head before because of my father, so I guess that kind of helped. How did you persevere with your academics in times of self-doubt? Yeah, I think I mentioned this in a previous video where in my second year I really felt like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? I'm not going anywhere, I'm not getting anything, I've got no results. I'm not going to get a PhD, and I did have self-doubt, but I reminded myself that actually in academia success is slow, extremely slow, and the results are slow, everything happens slowly, but the results do occur. You will get them in the end. I promise you, you will succeed in the end, you will have results in the end. So I think that's what kind of motivated me, knowing that at the end of the day I will get something out of this, and that I've kind of started it now, and I'm not someone who quits. I don't quit, I'm not a quitter. That's kind of the mentality that helped me persevere, knowing that I don't quit and I have to get through this no matter what. Staying consistent is one of my struggles. Any advice for your sister? I guess staying consistent is really hard, but I think if you write down your goals for every day, so every day in the morning I have a plan, I have a diary, and I write down the things that I want to do in my diary, and that really helps with staying consistent because it means that I can see it every single day and I know what I want to do. A second thing is by telling someone. So I tell my husband or I tell my siblings, oh, I want to do this, and they'll always ask me about it. They're like, oh, so how's that going? And that kind of helps me stay on my goal, if that makes sense, knowing that there's someone that's going to kind of check up on me. And for me, also having YouTube, like knowing that I tell you guys, like, oh, I'm going to do daily videos, and if I don't do it, someone's going to, ask me, where's the video? So that helps me stay consistent as well. Kind of having someone that's going to hold me to account really helps, and I think that's something that you could do as well. Someone that you know isn't going to judge you and pressurize you, but someone that is going to keep on top of it and ask you, what's going on, you haven't done this today, you haven't gone to the gym today, you haven't whatever, and that really helps, I find. Okay, so how did you get over the anxiety of starting and putting yourself out there? As a creative, it's a hard leap. I agree. I would say that I am a creative, definitely. I love my academia, I love the structure of academia and things like that and education, but I definitely love being artistic. I definitely love like creating videos and making content and fashion and things like that. I love it, love it, love it, love it. Cannot stress how much I enjoy sitting here and filming a video. I do enjoy seeing the end product and things like that. So the anxiety, I think I feel like in my head I tell myself that I have a niche. Like in my head I tell myself, it doesn't matter how many subscribers I have, I don't have that many, I don't have get that many views, I'm not doing like amazingly on YouTube, I would say, but I tell myself every single day, you have a niche. Those 1,000 people that watch you consistently are consistent. They are ride and die followers, they are ride and die supporters, and that is my niche. They are, if I'm helping one person or two people with something, then that's good enough for me, and that helps me, because sometimes I post a video and I'm like, oh, it's not doing that great, it's not getting that many views, and I think to myself, actually, you know what, 500 people, that's a whole lecture theatre, of people, and all those people are watching this video, and sometimes we lose the bigger picture of things. So I think to forget about what the end product is, in terms of forgetting how many people are going to like this photo, just thinking about the fact that you enjoy this and it's something that you love, and hopefully it will be something that will be successful in the future. you know, in terms of numbers and finance and stuff like that, but I think always having a backup plan as well. Can you do videos about study tips and how to get good grades? 100% on my to-do list, definitely coming. If you could do it all over again, would you still study bio at university or would you study something else? I think something else. I really enjoy bio, definitely enjoy biochemistry, definitely enjoy what I've done, 100%, love it, wouldn't change it for the world. But if I could go back and I knew what I know now, I'd definitely do something else. I think I'd probably go into either engineering or law. I know that's totally different, I know, but I love law. I think I'm a great speaker, I'm a great orator, and I think that I could be great in the field of law, although I find that, and also I'm great at writing as well, but I feel like that's a result of me doing a PhD, so I don't know how that would work out. But then at the same time, I also love engineering, and I feel like biomedical engineering or like some sort of biological engineering would be a great field, and they lack women. There's a huge deficit of women in the engineering field, and I know that if I was a good engineer, I would have jobs left, right, and centre. Like, it would be insane. So yeah, if I knew what I knew now, I definitely would have gone into those two fields, but at the same time, I love what I'm doing now, and you know, it's just, I can always do a law degree if I want in the future. Not a question, but I seriously love your videos. Thank you. What can I say? What do you do to push yourself after hard times? I'm not really good to answer this question because I wouldn't say I've had that many hard times in life. So I'm not even going to try to answer this question because I don't think I'm qualified enough to be able to answer. Any advice on making new friends in a new environment or of college or university? I would just say try not to stick to what you're most comfortable with. I would say try to get out of your comfort zone. I know that's hard to say, but in university you have so many opportunities to make friends, and it's kind of the last opportunity you have in life where it's an environment where people want to make friends. When you're at work, no one wants to be friends with you. Everyone kind of has their own friends, their own lives, they're married, they've got kids, no one cares about being friends with you. So university is the one time where people are actively looking to make friends, and a lot of people have found their best friends in university, husbands and wives and wherever, and I feel like join societies, find people that are like-minded to you. If you love, I don't know, if you love chess, go to chess society. If you love tea, go to tea society. If you love a certain religion, go to that religion society. You know, find people that are in that society, or go to certain events and make friends with them. Sit next to different people in the lecture theatre. Don't just stick to your friends. Find people that are different to you. If you're, let's say you are a certain race or a certain religion, don't just stick to that certain religion or that certain race. Find other people. Like, don't just stick to that one circle. That's my personal opinion. That's what I did, and that's how I ended up being friends with so many different types of people from different countries, different races, different religions, and as a result I feel like I'm a more rounded person. Which was your favourite university, KCL, Imperial or UCL? Definitely UCL number 1, number 2 KCL, number 3 Imperial. I actually want to do a full-on video about this because the differences are so stark and I want to talk about it, so watch out for that. How old are you? I'm 27. What are your favourite books? Oh my gosh, I have so many favourite books. I don't even know where to start. My all-time favourite is The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. Oh my gosh, it's such a good book. You have to read it. That's my all-time favourite. Nothing's touched me as much as that book has touched me. What motivates you when you're studying biology? You're such an inspiration. I love you. I can't deal with messages like this. I feel like I love subjects where they apply to the real world, and biology is real. It's not abstract, it's real. We can touch it, we can feel it, we can see it. And so when I think about biology and I learn different biological topics like neuroscience, that is what's inside us, and it's just so fascinating. When you actually think about it and you actually take it in, it's so fascinating that our bodies are made up of tiny billions and billions of tiny cells, and we function through the interconnection of various nerves, and oh my gosh, it's just insane, and it blows my mind. Study habits and note-taking skills, please. Oh, that is another video I want to do. I've got loads of stationery that I bought for those videos, so keep an eye out for that. And what keeps you motivated in life? That's the last question. Like I said, just doing well, knowing that my parents have put in so much effort for me and my siblings to do amazingly in life, and to not disappoint them, to not disappoint myself, and to just be an inspiration for myself, my future kids, my siblings, family, the human race, to be a good person, like being a good person in society, being a good person in life.